Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, we'll be discussing the 1997 film Contact, starring Jodie Foster, Matthew McConaughey, Tom Skerritt, and James Woods. For this film, I have to say Jodie Foster should have been given a third Oscar for her performance in this film, which was absolutely terrific. In this film. But the reason why she didn't get it is because she always won 2 already. And we're not going to give her a third one within 10 years. That's probably why. And also not only that, because there was another movie came out that year that blew everybody away, and it was Titanic. Either Kate Winslet or Jodie Foster should have won an Oscar that year. But they gave it to Helen Hunt instead. But that's another video for another day. The plot of Contact was that Jodie Foster plays a scientist working for SETI. That's short for the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. And she was looking for a radio signal. Of course, she worked at one particular spot in Puerto Rico, and it didn't get, and the funding was cut off because by Tom Skerritt's character, actually, who eventually becomes Jodie Foster's rival in the film, because you could look for like 2 million years and you may not receive a signal from another planet. The universe is so vast, and this is so long between different galaxies and stuff. You may not even find anything. But one particular day, miracle upon miracles, something only happens in the movies. Or in a movie like this, Jodie Foster receives a signal. And of course everybody goes crazy, and at first they didn't quite believe you got the signal at first. And that's why you have to do everything out before you actually believe that this was an actual signal. And it turns out there was a signal that was returned to Earth of a signal that went out to space back in 1936, and happened to be film footage of Adolf Hitler opening the opening ceremonies of the 1936 Olympic Games. It was held in Berlin. So that was the first signal that went all around the Earth, and also the very first signal that actually reached out into outer space. So all these years, like some 61 years later, it returned back to Earth from this area of space called Vega. And then they got another signal from the same region of space, asking the people of Earth to build a spaceship, and one person on planet Earth will go to Vega, so he could have like a information exchange, kind of like what happened at Close Encounters. On the end of Close Encounters, and they had a congressional hearing for people from around the world, for different countries, kind of like a UN hearing, I guess. And they would ask people different questions. Jodie Foster was in the running with the #1 spot because they wanted an American, and they figured that Jodie Foster's character, since she's the one who found the signal to begin with, would be the most logical choice. But she was holding on because she, as most scientists are, they do not believe in God. And Matthew McConaughey's character was supposed to be like he was studying to become a priest, and then he dropped out of school. And he asked Jodie Foster if she believed in God, and she said no. There's no theoretical proof of God, so I don't believe in him. Since there's no proof that God even exists, I don't believe in him. So because of that, Matthew McConaughey decided to vote against her, but that wasn't the real case. The real case was that Matthew McConaughey was in love with Jodie Foster in the film, and he was afraid that he would lose her. She would die, she would never come back to Earth, or whatever the reason was. So Tom Skerritt's character, who of course was known for being in Top Gun and in the movie Steel Magnolias, was the one who was chosen to go. So Jodie Foster was ticked off because she thought she got stiffed which she did. And eventually, Tom Skerritt didn't go. I'm not going to say why, because I don't want to ruin the whole movie, but it eventually didn't go. For reasons I'm going to say on here. But, so Jodie Foster, of course, eventually went. And she goes there, and she comes back, and within, like, maybe, not even 5 seconds, maybe 2 or 3 seconds, she was back on Earth. And meanwhile, she was there, she recorded, or Jodie Foster claims, because she had all the recorders running, recorded about 18 hours of stuff. But unfortunately, when they played it back, it was 18 hours, it was just static. She didn't get anything. And she goes, why is that even possible? And she found out from the aliens is that you can never record anything because it's been that way for billions of years. You can never record us. You could never be able to properly record it. She talked to the people of Vega, and he said, look, it's always been this way. He said, wait a minute, I need proof that your people exist. And she happened to talk to her dead father, because the aliens took the form, or there's one particular alien that Jodie Foster communicated with. He said, look, took the form of her father so I could better communicate with her. And he said, look, I need some type of physical evidence, because I'm a scientist, and we need physical evidence that, your people exist. And he says, we can't do that. As we try to prove that you exist, or other alien cultures exist, and we can't physically get it. And I said, why is that? I said, it just has to be the way that things are. And it's been that way for billions of years. He didn't even say millions of years, he said billions of years. It's been that way. So they couldn't prove crap. But when Jodie Foster came back and found out that they couldn't prove anything, and that Jodie Foster couldn't prove anything, but she in detail, in another congressional hearing, in detail, what she went through, and she described everything, what happened to her, and nobody believes her because she doesn't have the proof. I mean, it's just her story, one word against the other. And meanwhile, another scientist who's working on this thing told Tom Skerritt's character, James Woods' character, who's now in Congress at this point, says, we looked at her recordings, and yes, it's still all static, but it's not static for those couple of seconds. It was for 18 hours of static. She recorded, and he was that sounds interesting. Is there any way to clear any of that stuff up? And he says, well, so far we haven't been successful at it, but we found that she didn't record 5 seconds of stuff, but she recorded 18 hours of stuff. And because in Earth time it was only like a couple of seconds, but they changed the time-space continuum, the whole time-space thing, that gives everybody a headache when they bring this stuff up in a movie or on like a show like Star Trek, where they do time travel stuff, or time travel storyline. That if you might think it's only like a couple of hours, well, in this case 18 hours, but in Earth time, reality, I think only a couple of seconds. Or vice versa. If you think it's only a couple of seconds, it was 18 hours. Or vice versa. Like the missing time thing. Because Jodie Foster's mind was 18 hours. And in the recording, it was 18 hours. But on Earth time, and Earth reality time, in this movie, it only was maybe a couple of seconds. Which was not able to communicate with mission control. Or the control room. So, but they were able to prove that Jodie Foster was recorded 18. And so how is it possible in a couple of seconds to record 18 hours of stuff? So so they kind of left it in in a cliffhanger in that way. You never really resolved that at the end of the film. But now Jodie Foster is now running SETI at the end of this film, and they still gave her permission to go continue searching for another signal. And pretty much how the movie is. It kind of ended on a down note because Jodie Foster couldn't prove anything. Kind of like today, nobody could prove the space aliens exist and stuff. But it wasn't interesting. But at that time, it was a very interesting topic to do a movie on. And like I said at the top of this video, Jodie Foster gave, I feel, an Oscar-winning performance in this movie. Absolutely, no doubt in my mind, she gave an Oscar-winning performance. But like I said, they weren't going to give Jodie Foster a third Oscar in 10 years. They were not going to do it. That's probably why she didn't do it. And the movie got pretty lousy reviews at the time because of the subject matter. And the movie was too long. And like I said, that Jodie Foster's character couldn't really prove anything, unfortunately. But Contact, if you like these types of movies, check out Contact. Even though I felt it was like too long to get to that end sequence where she goes into the ship, it takes too long to get. It took too long to get there. But it's worth watching, especially if you have to be a Jodie Foster fan. So that is my review of the movie Contact. Please click on the video, please rate it. Please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video to your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews on my YouTube channel at RowdyC.com. That's all WDY.C.com. There's a homepage of Rowdy Reviewer. Please see more. Please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.